Mike Moore Media.
In our studios, I'm talking to Sean Gillen, funeral director, embalmer, pre-planning specialist at Fair Funeral Home here in Eden. He's here, and I'm glad to get a little better acquainted with you, Sean. Hey, how are you?
Good. Good morning, Mike.
You've been here a while at Fair Funeral Home. Fair Funeral Home has been here a long time.
Very long time.
Yeah, since 1921, as a real tradition and the roots and the family there, that Fair name that has been with us in this community and means so much to so many people. Let's talk about, we'll get a little bit more into some of the traditions and things there at Fair Funeral Home, but we're here primarily to talk today about a Lunch and Learn program that's coming up May 18th. So tell us what this is about, Sean.
Well, Mike, what this is a seminar that we try to do at least once a quarter for the general public, so they can come and get some questions answered, to just get some education on what you can do in regards to getting things prepared for the future. It's just a nice little, quaint setting. We do it at the Moorhead Fair House.
Informal.
Very informal. Doris, she's been doing the seminar now for us for months. And, again, it just goes over, what the advantages are in pre-planning and, just getting some things in place, so your children don't have to worry about things, when it comes time.
Sure. Yeah. My parents did that, and they were down in Salisbury, and that was so important. They died within months of each other, that all of that was in place.
Yes.
And you said a key word there, Sean, right in the beginning, education. This is an education seminar, workshop, lunch provided, lunch and learn, so we're learning.
Yes.
And there really still is an education needed there for the cremation side of things and for pre-planning that people sometimes just put it off until it's too late.
You would be amazed, Mike, how many times that we as funeral directors sit with families and they've never talked about it with their mom or dad.
No.
They don't know what they wanted. So a lot of times it's a guessing game. And whereas even if you just come in, sit down, put things on paper, put your wishes on paper, at least your kids would know what you want. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as that.
It is simple, but we procrastinate on that, unfortunately, until the time has come, and then we're there and we don't know the needs. We have a family member now in that situation, and we have actually been able to speak with her and get some ideas of how that service should go and things like that, the church and the pastor and on, the music. But it is difficult for people, when, say, before they even get to some things there and some end-of-life issues and hospice and all of that involved. But when somebody's nice and healthy and they're up and they're doing things, people don't really want to talk about this, do they?
They don't. There's a lot of people that think, well, if I come in and pre-plan, then something's going to happen to me. No. We do we do a lot of pre-planning for what you just mentioned. Mom's going into hospice. We want to get some things taken care of now, so we don't have to worry about them at the time. And they've had that conversation, which is good.
It is.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But again, on the flip side of that, having people come in and just sit down and see what your options are.
Oh, there's another key word: options. There are options here that we
many
need to
options.
consider. Yeah, many options.
Yeah. You have your traditional burial options, and then you have your traditional cremation options. Cremation is something that is steadily rising.
It is,
and it's rising because of it's what people want. It doesn't have anything to do with financial situation or anything like that. People are at the point now where they don't want no muss and no fuss. So this is what I want to do. I want to be cremated, and then I want you to take me to the mountains in Boone, and I want you to scatter me, or take me to the Dan River, or whatever the case may be. Take me to the beach. So a lot of options, when it comes to cremation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as you say, that we've seen that progressively rise here. That whole cremation idea, and there are some. You just mentioned the scattering of the ashes, and so that how personal can that be when you're right there where you love to be at the beach?
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
That setting. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So we come to Lunch and Learn. This is at the Moorhead Fair House. It's next to Fair Funeral Home, Boone Road in Eden. And this is going to be when, and how do we get involved? How do we do this?
Well, it's going to be next Thursday, again, May 18th, 11 a.m. there at the Moorhead Fair House. We have about 8 or 9 people signed up for it now. Mm-hmm. So the best way to get in touch with us is to just give us a call at the funeral home. Let us know you'll be coming or how many will be attending, and then that way we know how much food to prepare for, and that way we can let Doris know how many she is to be expected. With the last we had 12 attend, which was one of our biggest ones, believe it or not. So we had 12 last time, and I think we had 8 the time before. So, and like I said, I think we have 8 or 9 signed up for this time.
How many can you accommodate? What would be a good number?
I would say probably good by 15, 18 would be good. Anything bigger than that, it becomes a little bit more impersonable. Mm-hmm. But again, it's very casual. People ask a lot of questions. We have handouts. So, that way people can, take time to understand and to ask the question, what is it that I want? What, how do I want to be remembered? Do I want all the fanfare, or do I want to just do something nice and simple? Mm-hmm. And it's a good way to start a conversation.
Oh, it certainly is. I'm thinking with that small group and very personal one-on-one, you're thinking of almost like a support group, because you're all there and you all are there for the same reason. And so we have the questions and answers that you have as an individual, but others may have some, and maybe you're a little hesitant in asking, but I guess it puts everybody at ease just to kind of be there in that whole situation, that setting.
It does. Yeah. And I think you hit it on the head. You said more of a little quaint setting where people will ask questions, as opposed to having something of 150 people sitting in an auditorium. Mm-hmm. So, It just gives you more to think about and to ask those questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we may have an idea, but do we have a checklist? Maybe if we're looking at something like this, when you're planning a funeral, what are some of the things definitely we need to have on that list right up at the top?
Well, a good thing that we always like to talk with our families about, even on the phone or even sitting down with them, is one of the key things that we need a lot is death certificate information. Mm-hmm. We need date of birth, social security numbers. We need parents' names along with mother's maiden name. So there's a lot of things that go into preparing just to, as far as just getting a death certificate ready. Mm-hmm. And by having those things done ahead of time, those are questions that we don't have to ask because they're right there on paper. But you would be amazed on how many people don't know their mom or dad's social security number.
That's what I'm thinking. It sounds like we should all know all of this.
We've heard 100 times, I've never met my grandparents. We just called them Pops. Mm-hmm. Have no idea what his first name is, or, the maiden name. Yeah. Things like that. So, again, people write things down in a family Bible, which is good, family trees and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you ever have to come into the funeral home to make arrangements, and you have information like that in a family Bible, please bring it.
Yeah, and I'm sure that happens a lot.
It does.
Yeah, because that's the family record.
Yes,
right.
It
there.
is.
And you would think, I can think of a case with a friend, and the mother has always been a little evasive about her age, and you would think the children would know, but sometimes that gets lost along the way.
It does. It does. And there's a lot that goes into planning a service, whether it's a simple cremation or whether it's a full burial traditional service. There's still a lot of things that has to get done. And
in a short span of time, if it's not done before.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Well, Lunch and Learn, tell us again what this is all about, where and when, and how we can get involved in that.
Well, again, it's next Thursday, the 18th, at the Moorhead Fair House. And if you want to just give us a call at the funeral home, 336-623-2161. Let us know how many's coming. That way we can keep a track of the number that we have. And that way we make sure we got enough food for everybody, because we don't want anybody going hungry, so to say.
The first word there is lunch.
Lunch.
That's
right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So this is a wonderful way to be in a very informal, personable setting there to learn about advanced funeral and cremation planning and how Fair Funeral Home can help you with that. So that is Thursday, May 18th, 11 a.m., RSVP by a week from today, the 15th.
Yes, that would help.
Yeah, okay, by the 15th. So call the funeral home for that. Sean, it's good to get this information from you directly. We've got just another minute and a half, perhaps. The name Fair, since the early 1920s, has meant so much to so many people here in our community and throughout Rockingham County, and that stable, that solid name of Fair continues today, doesn't it?
And it does. You would be amazed on how many families come in and sit down with us and just start naming, their mom, their dad, their grandpa, their grandma, their cousin that we have taken care of for
generations.
It is generations, and that is a that's a
that
very
makes a statement.
It is,
community.
And it's a very proud statement that having the fairs take care of you.
Sure, yeah. Okay, well, those that have been here for so long know what we're talking about. Newcomers are discovering things like that, but it's important to get that background information, and certainly when we're looking at Lunch and Learn about pre-planning, advanced funeral and cremation planning, this is going to be a very important time to just come and get the information, the questions answered, as you said, Sean, and some maybe things that somebody else may be wanting to ask and you just haven't asked, and now here you have that opportunity.
I agree. Yes, sir.
Anything else we need to mention? Got about a minute left here. We're pretty much on track, though, I think.
Again, for those that want to attend, just give us a holler. If it's something you decide to do the morning of, fine, come along. We'll take you. So,
okay. All right.
We'll still have plenty of food. So
we just are there to get that information out. One more time, that is Lunch and Learn, and that is at the Moorhead Fair House, right beside Fair Funeral Home on Boone Road in Eden. That will be Thursday. That's next week, Thursday, May 18th, 11. Starts at, what's the time on that again?
11 a.m.
11 a.m., okay, for lunch. RSVP to Fair Funeral Home by the 15th, next Monday. Okay, so call Fair Funeral Home for that, or you can go to their website for more information, and the family history is there, and everything that's going on at Fair Funeral Home that you'll need to know about, and that is fairfuneralhome.com.